And one of such women, making a difference in how we eat, what to eat, how to go about the process of making what to eat, is joining me in studio to have a conversation we actually started last year. And now, as we'd call her by her name, Ifwa Desia Insian Nomanyo, a registered dietitian. But for the show, we like to call her Enna. Enna, good morning and welcome to Sunday Breakfast.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Happy International Women's Day.
Thank you, my dear.
Yeah. Are you doing anything special to commemorate the day?
No, not really, but it's a special day.
Yeah. And like I was saying, we see all of the work you do, particularly nurses, right? And your field, will you say I think it's one of like the most women-dominated areas.
Yeah.
There are way more women nurses, more women dietitians. Yeah. So congratulations.
Thank
How long
you.
have you been in the profession?
20 years.
Hey! 20 years.
20 years of being in the hospital.
Wow. Incredible.
20 years. In fact, I started 2005, so September will be 21 years. So
Wow.
I've been doing this most part of my life.
Wow.
It is fulfilling, you see, bringing life back to people. And if unfortunately you even have to see people at their end, end of their road, you make the efforts to help them survive. If they survive, yes. If they don't, like I was trying to describe, my weekend has been a little stressful because I have a little one that we're helping stabilize. Okay, so it is fulfilling, it is emotional, it saps emotional energy and physical energy as well. But if you see it as a ministry, if it is your calling, you enjoy helping people back to life, live better life, encouraging wellness. Okay.
Wow, 20 years. I'm wondering where I was 20 years ago. Incredible, right? What do you say to, and we'll come back to our conversation for today, but what do you say to people who feel like sometimes some nurses, are unempathetic? They don't have the empathy and the professionalism required,
You see, sometimes our profession gets stressful. Okay. Sometimes it might not be deliberate. Sometimes you meet a patient. I remember one of my patients, we had to pass a tube because he couldn't swallow, so we were going to feed through a tube, and trying to do that, he was conscious, and passing a tube down the nose of a conscious person is very difficult. In doing that, we had to force him a little, encourage him. So when the nurses were forcing, I was just encouraging. He was a man, strong man, so trying to boost his ego to do that. After he became well, his issue was those who had to force his chest down were being inhumane, and I was kind, but I wasn't kind. It was a teamwork. So you had to do that, and I had to do this. So that side. But sometimes also you meet somebody with a little bit of not so much good human relations. That is quite unfortunate. You might meet one or two of such, but we are mostly kind and generous to our patients. So when you meet one of the unkind, just try to manage it. Yeah, sometimes we all, when I was going to have my last child, I think I felt I met one person, one nurse who didn't know I was part
of the fraternity.
Yes, and
she was unkind.
Yes, and didn't give me the time. It wasn't kind to me, because you have to show kindness to a patient. And so after everything, when I reminded him that his words were not seasoned, his words were unprofessional. I wanted to even match her on. It became like a different issue.
What does it mean to match someone on in a profession?
To report to the superior.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And again, happy International Women's Day.
Thank you.
Fasting and diabetes. We started this conversation yesterday. Actually, we got a lot of messages on the show.
Okay.
Right? For those who couldn't watch last week, I beg your pardon, not yesterday. For those who couldn't watch last week, I want you to just recap very briefly the key thematic areas before we delve into today's conversation.
Okay. So last week, our main emphasis was if you want to fast as a diabetic patient. But why would even a diabetic patient want to fast? Sometimes for religious purposes, other times he has a belief that when he does intermittent fasting, it will help, stabilize the sugar levels, okay? So for religious purposes, if you want to fast, normally it is for a number of days. And even for intermittent, it is also for a number of days. You need to discuss that with your doctor and the whole health team, okay?
Yeah.
So you don't do that yourself because you might put yourself at risk of hypo or even being exposed to diabetic ketoacidosis, okay? So we encourage that for a diabetic patient. Normally when you come to the hospital, we say, no, no, no. For religious purposes, the Bible or God wouldn't want you to harm yourself. So if your doctor insists that you do not fast, God loves you as much and wants you to take care of yourself. In the Quran, it is also emphasized that if you have to fast and the fasting will harm your body, do not fast. So religiously, you are advised not to fast if you are on medication. Any chronic disease, you are not supposed to fast because you're on medication. But if for some reason, as a diabetic patient, you need to fast, then you have to consult your doctor. And should your doctor approve, then in the course of the day, you have to be checking your sugar levels so that when you are going down, you break the fast. When you're going too up there, you also have to
How do we check our sugar levels?
So we have the glucometer, and every diabetic has it, okay? So that when you're going down, you see, when you're going down, you see your signs. You get confused, you get very
Which one do they put on their shoulder?
Yes, that is the advanced one.
That's the advanced one?
Yes, so that one you don't need to prick. Okay, it is in there, so you can just have access to the results or its reading at every time. Okay.
And that's different from the BP, the blood pressure one?
Yes, yes, that's
Because that's like some round sticker,
Yes.
white thing.
Yes.
Wow. So you have to constantly check
Yes, regularly.
your sugar levels.
Yes, so that you can know your states, okay? So you don't go hypo. If you go hypo, it can be very serious. If you go hyper, it can be
Now,
very...
what's the standard rate?
Okay, so for RBS, normally below 8 is good, okay? So if you are 9, 10, even for a non-diabetic, 9 is okay. But if you are 11, 13 going up there, and you see the signs in your body, you are sweaty, you can't concentrate, you feel very tired, please. Okay, and if you are going down, that is below 4, you have to break it fast. Okay, get some sugars, get some drink. That is the only time a diabetic is supposed to take sugar, so that you increase your sugar level to take you out of the
Wow,
crisis.
so it can be very dangerous because sometimes in their quest not to spike, they rather go way low.
Yes, yes.
And it affects them.
Yes.
Wow, so in that case, they'll have to now take sugary stuff in.
Yes, to come up there. To come up
like a
and
lot.
find, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Also, you know, we've spoken a lot about diabetic patients, but we also want to talk about fasting because a lot of people are in the period of fasting. For today's show, I want you to just help us on the appropriate way of breaking fasts, right? Okay. I see some of my friends eat date palms. I have people who drink ice kinky. You know, I've had an opportunity to break fast with some of my Muslim friends, you know, on numerous occasions. So it's interesting how they do it, you know. What would you say is the best way or the most healthy options?
Okay, so before we go to the best ways, I want to start with the inappropriate way.
All right, please do.
Okay, inappropriate way. So because we are in the month of Ramadan, and also we are in the period of Lent, okay, the Lent is for the Christians and the Ramadan
for
the
Muslim
Muslims.
brothers.
So after 6 or even from 3 p.m., you see a lot of Hausa cocoa stand, okay, because a lot of people are breaking their fast. Even before we get to the Hausa cocoa, by the roadside, in the shops, people are going for soda, all sorts of soda to break their fast with bread, okay. Fasting is very, very good for the body, okay, where you are helping the body to clear, to detox, okay, and even to rejuvenate, to start again, to build new protein cells. So it is good for the body. And now when you have gone through that healthy process of fasting, you are going to break it with lots of sugar and artificial stuff that will turn the clock back. When you have put in the efforts of, apart from religious reasons, for metabolical reasons, your stomach has been on rest, you have cleansed the body, and you are going to put in sugar. Sugar, I always say, is poison for the body. We should understand it that way. And bread is not food. Nature always preserves nature, as I always say. So if we have to break the fast, we should be deliberate about what we're putting in. So sugar, sugary foods are not good. Soda is not good. So every kind of soda, even refined juices, natural juices, those that have been labeled, so far as they have been labeled, they are products. They have been preserved. They are not the best for the body, okay? So those ones are no. You're only getting lots of sugar, and as we used to say in school, then it is cost 90. You shouldn't have done it at all. So soda is there. And then Hausa cocoa. I don't incriminate Hausa cocoa. But you see...
You start the disclaimer. I know that. Come to fire. Go. Yeah, listening to you.
When we want to eat well, then Hausa cocoa is not a good food, good beverage, good breakfast, because it is refined in some way.
Okay.
The fiber has been taken away. Okay, so if you are not taking the soda, you are not taking the bread, then the Hausa cocoa, I would take Hausa cocoa over the soda, because at least Hausa cocoa is natural. The millet is natural. Okay, so you will get some minerals in there, you get some vitamins in there. But so far as you have added sugar to it, then you are spoiling the cocoa, the porridge. Okay, so if for some reasons you are in town and you have to break your fast and you don't have anything, but you can see the Hausa cocoa vendor, please, when you go, do not ask for sugar. Ask for a little granite to add. Whatever we are using to break our fast should be healthy and should be balanced. So it shouldn't be naked carbohydrate, as we call it. And for a diabetic, naked carbohydrate is always dangerous for you. So when you are eating and you are going for naked carbohydrate. Naked carbohydrate is dense carbohydrate, starchy carbohydrate, purely carbohydrate. For instance, you are eating kenkey with pepper, and you are not adding avocado or fried fish. So there is no protein, there's no fats. If you are eating only to survive, then the kenkey is okay. But see, we don't eat to survive, we eat to live. And if you are eating to live, then you have to nourish the body. You have to be deliberate about whatever you are putting in. The brain needs the nutrients in the protein and the fats, and it should be good protein and good fats. Okay, so to stay focused to the Hausa cocoa, if you are going for Hausa cocoa, then do not add any sugar. But for a diabetic, don't go for the refined Hausa cocoa. That is diabetic that your doctor has approved you fast. Okay, and only few will be able to fast, very, very few. Those whose disease conditions have not advanced.
So whether you're a mild diabetic patient or you're, you know, in general diabetic, you can't choose to fast on your own accord.
No.
It has to be approved.
You have to be managed. You have to be supervised, because you're putting yourself at risk. Okay, wow. So you cannot decide to fast. You have to be managed. Okay, and you have to get somebody you are reporting to your dietitian, to your doctor, who will be checking up on you. One of my patients, okay, over the weekend, I realized is getting very good results. But she was so excited, but I had to keep an eye and ask her to check. So I set my alarm, I asked her to set as well. Every 2 hours, we had to be. She wasn't even fasting. We had to do a strict intervention to get the sugars very down. So even though we are getting good from 13, we are getting about 6, 7, 5. I had to monitor she doesn't go below 4. So sometimes for a diabetic, when you are happy you are going low, you are getting the low figures, you still have to be managed so that you don't go below 4. Okay.
Wow.
So back to the Hausa cocoa. If you are diabetic and you have to take Hausa cocoa, then you have to take it with your seeds, your chia seeds, or your granite, a little granite, so that you have the fiber.
Like you did 2 weeks ago.
Like I did 2 weeks ago. Then the other cup is ice kenkey. We all love ice kenkey. I mean, this is Ghana month, and for Ghanaians, we all love our ice kenkey. But for breaking fast with ice kenkey, it is better than soda, but it is still not the best because it is naked carbohydrates. Okay, especially if you don't have any nuts in there. So if you want to use granite to break, use ice kenkey to break your fast, then please do not add sugar once again, so that you get the full benefit of the fasting, and then add granite. And granite, the adequate is always a handful, and a handful is the center part of your palm. Do not do this. Do this so that a handful is okay. That is what measures your body needs, okay? And that is for the first hour of breaking your fast, okay? So if you have to go for ice kenkey, no sugar, just add, and don't make it dense. It should be light, okay? So that you don't put pressure on your stomach. Don't forget that for hours, the stomach has been empty, okay? So you don't give it the shock of putting it so much at a time. So even the shock of lots of sugar in the soda and other stuff we want to take. Some of them, in attempt to satisfy hunger, that is when they even want to come for jollof and come for fufu to break the fast. That's what put the body and your gut in shock, okay? So you don't want to put your digestive system in shock. You have to start well with. So we'll go to how to start well. So that is it. Now, going back to starting well, the best first intake is water. That is, if you had done dry fasting, okay, then water. Water is the best one to start with, or coconut water that we did last week. Okay, so if you have the coconut water or plain water, that is what's it. One of the wrong mood is because people know that we have to drink soup. My kitchen, I had few people coming for palm nut soup. If they come and like, okay, give me palm nut soup, give me groundnut soup if you have. So if you have to use soup to break your fast, go for light soup, not groundnut soup or palm nut soup. Why? Because these are fatty soup, okay? And for a digestive system that has been on rest to start working, you don't give it a lot of fat to work with. You will deal with indigestion and your body will be overwhelmed with a lot of fat to work with. And even meat, we will get to why we have to use fish in the appropriate way. So if you have to break your fast with soup, of course, you don't do fat-based soups, you go for light soup. We go back to the water. So water is the first key one, either water or coconut water, okay? Then for coconut water too, if you are diabetic and you had to use, don't forget your chia seed or your groundnut in your coconut water. Coconut water will help the body replenish the electrolytes lost during the fasting, okay? And hydrate the body well. So hydration is very, very, very key during the fasting period. After the water, then you are going for your soups, okay? Remember, I haven't mentioned a lot of fruits. So we are doing the water, we are doing the soup. You can do smoothies, okay? This is the best time to do smoothies, okay? Because you don't want to burden the...
How about yogurt?
Yogurt is the best, is the super, okay? Option because it is balanced, well balanced. So you have protein in there, and you have, especially if you go for the Greek yogurt, there's no sugar. So you have the probiotics, good for your guts, and you also have the protein in there.
Can you improve it by adding chia seeds? I feel like I should call them enna seeds. Can we add chia seeds and maybe granola?
Yes, you can. You can. And you can also add fruits, okay, banana. So
to the yogurt?
To the yogurt, you cut your banana, you pour your Greek yogurt on it. The banana sweeten it for those of us who want to taste the sweetness. Banana, and then the Greek yogurt and your chia seed on it as a diabetic. It is super, super, even for people dealing with peptic ulcer, okay? Greek yogurt is very good. Greek yogurt banana combination, Greek yogurt pawpaw combination for peptic ulcer, it's super. It has that soothing impact on the tummy. So sometimes when you have the irritation or you have that unrest in your stomach and you take Greek yogurt with banana or pawpaw, it gives it that calm. Most of my patients testify. And I used to battle with peptic ulcer years ago. So dealing with peptic ulcer, that is the best way, okay? Back to the soups when you are breaking your fast. For the vegetarian, mushroom, and now mushrooms are in season, okay? The organic ones are in season. So enjoy your mushroom soups, okay? But for the first 1 hour, don't take a lot of the mushroom. Just take the soup, okay? So we had a plain light soup without meat, without any. If you don't have the Greek yogurt, you don't have the smoothie, you can start with a plain soup. Then later, you add the soup with the mushrooms or the soup with fish, okay? Gradually, you are introducing. So when breaking the fast, you give yourself 2 hours or even 3 hours to be eating. The first hour is the water and the soups, the plain soup, and the yogurts, okay, and banana if you want. Then the second hour is the soup with a carbohydrate or a protein. So the gradual introduction, reintroduction of meals is very, very important so that you don't go through digestive stress, okay, the shock of taking too much at a time, okay. And for a diabetic, then when you are taking your light soup, you have to ensure that you have adequate protein, okay, to give you that slow release or even to help control your sugar levels better. So you will have more vegetables in your soup and the protein as well. If you like, then you add some starchy carbohydrates like potatoes and
Finally,
stuff
before I let go of us, you mentioned that you come to the meat, we can use. I remember breaking fast with my Muslim friends, and we had light soup with tilapia.
Afraid. Okay.
So are there types of protein
Okay.
that you would not advise?
Okay. So fasting period is also a period to rest your digestive system. So fish is more easier to digest. There are some religious reasons why we go for fish, but we are doing nutrition. So fish is more tender, fish digests better. So since you don't want your digestive system to go through that digestive stress, you want to go for those that are gentle on the system. And so fish is more appropriate, okay. After fish is poultry and then the red meat. Okay, so we go for fish.
Amazing. Anna, it's always a pleasure having you. And I don't know if you have some final words on this, right? Okay. In terms of what diabetic patients should be always minded of, in wrapping up this.
Okay. So we want to emphasize that as a diabetic, you cannot decide to fast on your own. If you have to fast, you have to consult with your doctors or your medical team prior to your fasting. And if they agree you have to fast, allow them to supervise you so that you don't put yourself at risk of any complications with your disease. If it is for religious purposes, know that God loves you and He wants you to live well. And so He doesn't want you to nurse any complication. So if your doctors say you cannot fast, please do not fast. Ensure that you are not fasting, but you can do all the other practices that go with the fasting so that you benefit. If you have to fast and break your fast, then break it appropriately so that you enjoy the full benefits of fasting.
Anna, this year, thank you so much for the insights today. Personally, I've learned something new. I've learned something new, and I'll break my fast accordingly.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
All right, so guys, there you heard it for yourself, and now helping us through how to keep, our fasting proper in terms of the health components. Of course, I mean, a lot of people fast for spiritual reasons, for religious reasons, but if you want to fast, be minded about your health, and that is the message we want to send home today. And of course, this segment will be on our YouTube channel, ChannelOne TV. You can go in there and watch for yourself. You can share it with your friends if you're embarking on a friend group fast or even a religious fast and learn something like I have on the show today. We'll be right back after this